Well, it's about 7:30 a.m. here on the Homestead. It is a dreary, foggy, spooky kind of morning out here. I am so glad I don't have to drive today, guys. This is the Frugal Gardener. Yes, like I said, I'm here on the Homestead. For those of you who are new, I live on a 4.5 acre homestead and I garden on about a quarter of an acre here. This is what's left of my summer garden. There is a lot going on today that I want to show you guys. And we're about to get started. I'm going to talk to you about the Dirty Dozen, which is 12 of the most chemical-laden vegetables that are on the market these days. And one of them that I'm hoping to cross off the list, it's a new one. And what we're going to do is grow potatoes indoors so that we don't have to deal with the chemicals. I'm also going to give you guys the reveal of my latest mystery box, and I'm going to give you the new mystery box that I am growing at the current time. I started this about a week, 2 weeks ago. And stick around because at the end of the video, or near the end of the video, I have something very special that I want to show you guys. Something that I'm doing. I've done this once before, but this time I'm going to do a little differently. I'm going to go into more detail on how you can do it. It's a very cheap, I would say, free way that you can grow food indoors in the winter. So stick around. Let's get started. So before I go any further, I want to take a minute to thank you guys for all of your suggestions. I recently asked for suggestions on what to do with all these apples that I have received. And as you can see, I'm putting some of those suggestions to use. This is my dehydrator, well, one of my dehydrators. It's pretty straightforward. It's not one of those expensive ones. So I'm dehydrating apple peels in the dehydrator. This is my apple cider that I can't seem to keep enough in the house. The family loves it, so I'm going to probably end up making more of this. This is my third batch so far, and I still have plenty of apples left. Today is going to be apple pie, and last night was apple sauce. I decided to come up with my own recipe. I looked at a couple of other recipes for the apple sauce and for the apple cider. And with the holidays coming up, I know people drink a lot of apple cider. So if you guys are interested in my take on either of those two, just put a link down and put a note in the comment box below and just let me know. And I will add that recipe to my next video. So on with the video, finish up with where we left off at. Thanks again. So every year, the Environmental Working Group, it's an organization that tracks the amount of pollution and the crap that they're putting in the air and putting in our foods. Every year, they come out with the Dirty Dozen and the Clean 15. Not today, but probably in the next video, I'm going to go into depth, into more detail. I'll give you that complete list, and we can, kind of go into why they're on the list a little bit. But today, because I like to keep these videos short and I have some other things to show you, this is obviously what's happening in 4 of my grow boxes. These are really coming along. And like I said, later on in this video, I'm going to reveal the answer to the last mystery box And also, I'm going to give you guys the new mystery box, like I said a few minutes ago. So the greenhouse is still in a bit of disarray. I got everything back together, but that's on the outside. But the inside, there's still some things I need to work on. But it's usable, and I'm using it today, actually, to segue into one of the main things I wanted to talk about today, and that is potatoes. And it's no coincidence that I'm talking about potatoes today because they just made the list. Unfortunately, it's a list that you don't want to be on. And potatoes, excuse me, are number 12 on that list because after testing the potatoes, these happen to be white potatoes that were tested, 90%, approximately 90% of potato samples contain a pesticide used to inhibit sprout growth. In other words, it stops the potatoes from doing this. This is what we want as gardeners, but you don't want this in the store. People are finicky. They want everything to be perfect, which is the reason why a lot of stuff is bleached. We talked about that in the previous video. But a lot of these potatoes travel long distances, and they sit on the shelves for long periods of time, and that makes them unattractive. So this is the reason why I'm not even going to attempt to pronounce the actual name for this, but they also use chemicals for pest control. Now, there's another vegetable that was added to the list this year. We're not going to go into that either. But the thing is, I've already planted potatoes. I've known about the issue with the chemicals in the potatoes for some time. It's just now making the list. This is the reason why I grow potatoes every summer. These potatoes are seed potatoes that I purchased in the spring from, I think it was Burpees. At any rate, these potatoes would normally be thrown out. You see how tiny they are. You can't really do anything with these. So I'm going to call these free. I mean, free because you can argue the point and say, well, yeah, you paid for them. But I grew the potatoes I paid for. This is what's left over. You guys know the drill. For those of you who don't, you need proper drainage. You need, I would like for this to be a little bit deeper, but I know for a fact that this will work because I've done it many times. So you want to bury these about 2 inches below the surface with these pointed up. Now, I did watch a couple of Asian videos. Oh, this was probably a year or two ago, but they planted them sideways. So I'm wondering if I should give that a try. But at any rate, this is my first time growing these indoors. Now, when I say first time, you guys are going to go, well, wait a minute. Didn't you plant one of these a couple of weeks ago? Yes, I did. And I'm going to show that to you in a bit. But this is the first time that I'm planting these this small in this type of a container. I usually just do one big potato right dead center. So I'm going to plant these and show you what it looks well. Actually not show you because they're going to be underground, but here goes. Well, my cameraman, actually camera woman, aka the Frugal Daughter, lives in Ohio now. So I'm kind of doing this solo. And this is the way it looks. And before this video is over, I will show you the one that I am growing inside. Is actually doing very well. As a matter of fact, I'm going to show it to you right now. And so here it is. Believe it or not, this is one potato. To be more accurate, this is one red potato. And just to refresh your memory, this was planted back on 9/27. I will probably harvest this sometime around the end of the year. I might let it go a little bit longer. When I did this originally, I got a couple of comments of people saying I should have waited a little bit longer. I could have waited until more of the leaves died off. The fact of the matter is, things went well, and I wanted to use that container for something else. So yeah, I could have waited a little longer. So we'll see. These leaves look a little bit different because these are red potatoes. Red potatoes are higher in antioxidants. Of course, if you use the skin, if not, they're just pretty much the same nutritional value as white potatoes. But wow, look at this. Look at how many, how much foliage, how many leaves I have, how many, they're not really branches, but plants that have sprung out of this one plant. I mean, I'm counting, looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, at least 5 of these here. So, like I said, I've done this several times before, but this is the first time I've done this going into winter. We're into fall, and like I said, you know, I'm probably going to harvest this around the end of the year, which would make it December. I mean, I'll tell you guys a couple times that the solstice is the 21st, so we're about a month away from that. And so there you have it. Now, the last order of business is the last mystery box, which is here, and just about everybody got it right. This is spinach, and I'm looking forward to this because not only is this the first time I planted spinach in this particular box garden, but this is going to look beautiful coming up. Spinach is also considered a superfood. I'm going to move this out into the greenhouse, just like the other boxes. So the procedure is pretty much the same, where I start the plants in boxes indoors, and sometimes in plastic containers that I use, like the coffee creamers and coffee pots, coffee cans that I don't use anymore. So I repurpose those, start them indoors, then I take them outside. So before I go on to my surprise, which I'm saving for last, I mentioned that I was going to revisit this. This is Watercress. This is the condensed version of what I normally grow. This is inside this plastic container that I showed you guys a video or two ago. That's sage. There's a couple other things growing in here, but this is my focus, and this is the problem, because I normally get sidetracked, and I really want to zero in on this today, because watercress is kind of overlooked. It's a superfood. Watercress can lower your blood pressure. It can help reduce inflammation. It's high in antioxidants. It lowers your risk of heart disease, cancer, diabetes. It may even prevent certain types of cancers, according to the research, not according to me. It contains more than what you need for your daily dosage of vitamin K. It also contains vitamin C, vitamin A. It has calcium and antioxidants. There's that word again. A lot of people that got COVID had weakened immune systems. So, and again, let me be very clear. I'm not saying that if you eat any of these foods that you won't get sick, or that you won't get COVID, or you won't get any other kind of virus. I'm saying that according to the professionals, according to the experts, if you eat these types of vegetables and certain fruits, that it will build up your immune system. It will increase the amount of antioxidants that you're dealing with, and you should get some of these other health benefits from consuming this. Now, I guess you can see this is just starting. It's going to be another month or so before I can start consuming these. I'm going to do a larger one of these for myself. And again, this was mainly for purposes of doing this video to show you guys. This is actually sitting in this container of water. I do have nutrients in this water, and I don't know how many of you have seen the previous video, but you can see just how how fast these leaves are growing in this container. So finally, the last thing for today that I promised you guys, I promised to show you guys, is something cheap, something new for me. I've done this once before, and that is this. These are beans, store-bought beans. To be more precise, these are Greater Northern beans. There's a lot of talk about children going to bed hungry. There's a lot of talk about food shortages. We have gotten spoiled. We've gotten used to everything being packaged. We've gotten used to putting everything in the microwave or going to the drive-through. And I mean, it's time to get real. If you can afford it, fine. But if you can't, it's time to get back to basics like our ancestors did. So you buy a bag of beans and you take a couple of beans out of each bag. This, I have 1, 2, 3, 4. Here's another one back here. I have 5 beans growing in this. I have about 5 or 6 growing in this. Yes, the container should be larger. My point of doing this is to show you that if you get free beans, pretty much free, because if you were to count the number of beans and you were to divide them by how much you paid, then what are you going to pay? Like 3 or 4 cents for, for these many beans? Put these in here. When they grow, you can transfer these to a larger container. So this is a win-win if you ask me. And we talked about the whole soil situation where you can go to get your soil. And if you're getting beans from beans that you have already purchased and just, separate a few of those beans, siphon a few of those off and put them in the soil, and you have free containers, then what are you paying for? You're not really paying for anything. You're getting free food. So I'm not going to have you guys guess what this one is. I'm going to just tell you straight up what it is. But I do have one last thing. I do have what is the mystery for this video. And that is this. No, it's not in a box. It's not in a grow box. It is in a coffee creamer container, which is free. And I'm remembering to hold the camera steady this time. What is growing in this reused container, this upcycled container? So that's the guess for today. That's all I have for you guys today. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. Next video, or the video after next, because the holiday is coming up, is going to be the Dirty Dozen. We're going to go over the list, what's in it, and why. So thanks for taking the time out of your day. I hope you spread this video. I hope you click the like button and also click the thumbs up. Post your comments below. I read all your comments. I comment on all the comments that you guys send to me. And remember, when you grow your own food, you'll always know where it comes from. I'll see you guys in a few days with a new video.